When you're running an MSP business, your tool set matters, right? You've got your platforms, your all-in-ones, your bolt-ons, your integrations, your APIs. You've got to have a good technology stack in order to be successful in this industry. So how do you know exactly what to look for? How often do you review and check in on the tools that you're using to make sure they're still the right fit as you move forward and continue growing? And how do we figure out which way is up in this market that is so jam-packed with different solutions and technologies to test out and interact with? Well, let's kind of start with the purpose of these, right? These tools are designed to be used by MSPs largely, as well as internal IT departments in a lot of cases, and they're going to help you manage a lot of the day-to-day tasks and administrative work related to running IT operations. Think about asset and endpoint monitoring, user management, service desk ticketing, alerts, patch management, all of these different functionalities and capabilities that are designed to help you keep systems healthy, maximize uptime, keep operations running smoothly, and really automate and offload a lot of that day-to-day work that you don't really have time or labor to handle on a manual click-by-click basis, and really get up out of the weeds so you can continue focusing on growing your business and impacting more strategic parts of your operation beyond just the minutia and everything that's kind of under the hood day-to-day, so to speak. Now, there's a lot of different types of tools out there, so we'll cover some of the most important kind of broad brushstroke categories that you're going to want to keep tabs on when evaluating, do I have the essentials that I need within my stack today? And the obvious place to start is probably RMM, remote monitoring and management. You think about being able to keep tabs on devices that are anywhere out in the field or in fleet, right, without having to be on site for every single little patch or update that you want to push or issue that you want to remediate. Think infrastructure monitoring, think security, think responding to threats or vulnerabilities. Think visibility into devices and users and networks. These RMM tools, it's really your bread and butter to be able to see what's going on, keep tabs, keep track of devices, push updates, keep systems healthy, and really RMM is kind of the single most critical piece of infrastructure technology that shifts you from that reactive kind of break-fix business model toward being that true MSP, that managed services model where you're able to provide that proactive service. Next, you're going to want to think PSA, right? Professional Services Automation. This is more of your back office if RMM helps you manage the front of the house, right? Think of project and resource management, time tracking, ticketing, help desk services, billing and invoicing, making sure you're getting paid for all that hard work you're doing for your customers. A PSA is a crucial part of the stack to really focus on managing the operations behind your business, whether it's productivity and efficiency, again, time tracking, am I charging enough or too much for some of these services? Do I have my billable hours all logged and taken care of? Can I go back and look at prior tickets that I resolved historically to give me better insight into the problem that I'm staring at right now? So kind of RMM and PSA, the two cornerstones of that modern MSP tech stack. From there, we're going to be thinking about remote access tools, and this is making sure that when you do need to get into a system, you're able to do so, again, without having to always be on site for every single little, bug fix or issue that needs to be dealt with. So that remote access solution, especially in today's kind of distributed and hybrid environments, another crucial piece of the puzzle to be able to monitor and manage and access devices remotely. Think of remoting in, taking control of a machine to resolve a variety of issues, security updates, file transfers, resolving any number of headaches or hassles that might come up. It's where you need to be able to directly access that machine and take control and push the buttons yourself, so to speak, rather than something that an end user might be able to take care of or accommodate on their own. And a lot of these work in tandem with other devices and other technologies. But again, you want to be mindful of who's got access, who's got the right permissions and privileges. And again, as an MSP, you don't want to give end users or end customers kind of unlimited admin access to do whatever they want. So these remote access tools can help you get in right place, right time, and make sure that you're the one that holds the keys to the castle, so to speak, rather than giving that access out more broadly. You also want to think about stuff like patch management. How effectively and successfully and consistently can I deploy Windows updates, third-party updates, various applications, whether it's just general productivity and uptime or thinking about security as well. Keeping systems up to date is one of those just basic, foundational, critical aspects of your infrastructure. And unfortunately, it's still often overlooked, and we continue to hear about security breaches and incidents that are a result of systems that are just not patched, not up to scratch, that are left out of date, and that's how bad actors are finding their way in. So look for patch management. Make sure you've got a good, consistent, capable patching solution to get those software updates rolled out. We talked a little bit about ticketing as it relates to PSA. Again, think about ticket management. Think about how smart your ticketing capabilities are. Think about whether or not that system is working for you or is creating additional headache and hassle and complexity, and you're having to fight against your ticketing flows and different boards and workflows, rather than having that be something that improves your efficiency, kind of streamlines some of traditional manual processes and improves that day-to-day quality of life for technicians that are out there fighting fires in the field that are actually working through these different requirements. And you're also going to want to think about security and backup and some of these other peripheral components that are critical parts of the operation, but maybe don't always live at the center of RMM and PSA, which are traditionally focused, again, on kind of front and back office management. Good security can be layered into those, but most RMM, PSA, and kind of help desk ticketing monitoring type systems are not built from the ground up as security products. So you do want to think about the security wrapper that sort of needs to sit around all of those. And look, there's a bunch of players that are in this space. Obviously, we're a little biased and we like what Syncro is doing since that's who we are. We're changing a little bit of the game in regard to having unveiled XMM and kind of unifying RMM, PSA, as well as Microsoft 365 management capabilities under a single solution. But at the end of the day, you want to do the research and the diligence to find the tools that are right for you based on your needs, your customers' needs, and kind of how you plan to grow and continue scaling your business. So check out our blog for a little bit more detail on what I'm talking about in this video, as well as to get a closer look at some of the key players in this space today, some of their strengths and gaps, and you'll be well on your way to making an informed decision about the platforms that you want to consider to make sure that you're being successful when running your own MSP organization.